3 or 4 yards on the play. August Curley, a 4th-round draft pick 2 years ago, who's had 3 knee operations, finally made the tackle.
Watch him fall in. He'll be far to the left of your screen now. Fall back in and make this play. 59 right there. Shed the block by Russ Francis. And did a good job on the play. He's got great strength for his size.
2nd down and 7 on the Lion 43. 7-0 Detroit, first quarter. On the ground again, Tyler up the middle. And Wendell Tyler has another first down for the 49ers inside the 35. August Curley made the tackle, and Bubba Paris with a fine block, a gain of 9 for Tyler.
Watch Randy Cross now, the right guard to the left of Montana. Come back, step back, pull through. Quillen gets a job on English. Cross comes through the hole and screens 2 guys away on his block. Excellent job.
Inexorably moving down the field. 1st and 10 on the 33 of the Lions. Tyler now goes in motion. Pitches to Craig. Cuts inside. Nothing much there. Jimmy Williams closed it up in a hurry.
No question, no question. The 49ers game plan, as we mentioned, it's all run, and Bill Walsh wanted to do that because he felt he would get a lot of blitzes from the Detroit Lions. They're a heavy blitzing team.
And still another welcome for Mr. Walker and our crew here in Detroit. Darryl Rogers in his first year as head coach. 20 years head coach in college. 2nd down and 9 at the 32. Craig trying to go outside. Has room. First down for the 49ers to the 21-yard line, and Demetrius Johnson comes up from strong safety. An 11-yard pickup for Craig, and another good block by Bubba Paris up front.
You bet it was. A bounce out here by Craig, but watch Paris, number 77 on William Gay. Gets him turned inside. That gets Craig outside. And Demetrius Johnson has to make the tackle. The leading tacklers on this Lions team are the defensive backs, believe it or not. William Graham leads. He's a safety. That tells you something.
49ers have rushed 10 times and passed once. Now make it 11 as Tyler gets a yard, and that's all, to the 20-yard line on 1st and 10. Eric Williams making the stop. Tyler has carried now 5 times for 24 yards, and 8 minutes and 40 seconds remain in the first quarter. The Raiders jump ahead of Cleveland 7-0. Both of those teams are 4-2 so far. Houston over Cincinnati in an AFC Central battle, and Buffalo winless on the year over Indianapolis. 2nd down and 9 on the 20. Tyler. John Ayers blocking, cutting up front, and Tyler is stopped at the 17 by Doug English, the nose tackle, and Kurt Ollerman, the veteran inside linebacker. So it's been Craig and Tyler, Tyler and Craig so far for the 49ers, who trail.
Doug English is the nose tackle over the center. Quillen does a good job turning on him. 59 is Williams. He's still on his feet, but Tyler has to cut back into traffic. And Ollerman was there, the inside linebacker.
The 11th play of the series coming up. All have been on the ground. 2nd and 6, 3rd and 6 on the 17. 3rd down. Montana passes, caught by Clark. 5-yard line and out of bounds. It's another first down for the 49ers. 1st and goal at the 4, and a 14-yard pickup for Dwight Clark, who has now caught a pass in 79 consecutive games, and that's a Niner record.
No blitz right there. They just sent 4 men. Montana with plenty of time. Had an alley to throw through. No hands to worry about that were up in his face. And got it to Clark.
Dwight Clark, second leading receiver, is actually ahead of his pace of a year ago by around 9 receptions. 3 tight ends now for the 49ers. 1st and goal on the 3. Tyler will go in for the touchdown. No, they stop him an inch before. He was stopped about a foot in front of the goal line by Bruce McNorton and John Bostic, 2 of the players in the secondary.
Russ Francis gets a good block. Here comes Randy Cross. He's got his man used up. And a good hit there at the goal line.
It looked like Tyler might have gotten over. 2nd and goal at the 1 as Bill Walsh checks his list of plays. 25. He opens every game with. Montana keeps and scores. Joe Montana with his second touchdown rushing of the season. Brings the 49ers back at 7-6. Darryl Rogers has seen his defense take a pounding against a relentless running attack by the 49ers on their second series.
There wasn't one fancy play involved in that drive. It was, they played like they practiced on Wednesday and Thursday. Tough.
Ray Wersching with Kavanaugh holding will try for his 129th straight conversion. He succeeds. That's the longest current streak in the NFL. And with 6:55 remaining in the first quarter here in Pontiac, we're all tied at 7 apiece. Wersching will be kicking off for the 49ers. Alvin Hall, Alvin Moore, and Pete Manley are all back there. Manley is on the right, and Alvin Moore on the left, and Hall is in the middle. Hall, the all-time leading Lion kick return leader. On the ground, and it's going to be Alvin Hall having trouble with it. Picks up speed and brings it out beyond the 25-yard line. Bruce Colley makes the tackle. These teams have had a history of down-to-the-wire games. Remember this great reaction shot of Monty Clark as Eddie Murray tried to win it for the Lions in the playoff game 2 years ago.
And that was from 43 yards out, 47 yards out, wide right.
And the 49ers held on and won by a point to move into the championship game against Washington, in a sigh of relief for Bill Walsh. Last year, Ray Wersching, with that much time to go, wins it for the 49ers.
And another close one, Dick, was in the 81 Super Bowl season for the 49ers. The Lions beat them here.
A history of close games between these teams. Eric Hipple, first down. Incomplete. He was trying to go to Reese McCall, a tight end. Eric Hipple starting at quarterback. There was some talk that maybe Joe Ferguson, the 35-year-old veteran, might come in for Hipple this week. Not the case.
Well, Darryl Rogers wanted to avoid a cornerback controversy, but Hipple has caused one by completing only 49% of his passes. Offensive line there, always an injured group. Same way this year.
Second down and 10 at the 26. James Jones is the lone back. He carries, and he's hit. Ricky Ellison, first man to hit him. Crunching play by Ellison, and you can see that the 49er defense is around. Loss on the play.
The handoff, and watch the former SC star as a yard in the backfield. He read that play, stepped up, nobody to block him, and put his hat right on the numbers of Jones.
That's been the problem with the Lions. They have not been able to mount any kind of a rushing attack. They haven't protected the quarterback because the runners haven't been able to get on the way. The blocking up front with that kind of injury-riddled line, as you mentioned, Wayne, has been a big factor. So it's 3rd and 11 at the 25. 3 wide receivers now for Detroit. Hipple going up top, nearly intercepted by Carlton Williamson. Mark Nichols was the intended receiver. Williamson had it in his hand, just juggled it and couldn't hold on, and he almost picked off the second in as many weeks.
Watch, Williamson will have it and basically almost have control of it until he hits the ground. Now it goes out. Ground can't cause a fumble, they say, but that is not the case if you haven't been touched by anyone.
Mike Black will kick for the Lions. 22 of 28 kicks have been returned, the most in the NFC. Dana McLemore is back for the 49ers. They have not really broken one on a punt return yet this year. McLemore will let this bounce at the 39-yard line, and it will drop at the 30. So the 49ers, with 5:41 to go, will take over again. A big change from last week in play selection, and the 49ers have already run the ball more than they did all of last week.
Well, Bill Walsh said, you know, we're going to be fundamental as we can be in what we do. He said our concerns that he's talking about is past mistakes. The past mistakes of the team are so fundamental, it really doesn't matter who we play. We're just going to go out and do things basic and sound and be fundamentally sound.
2 weeks ago against Atlanta, though, he wanted to establish the short passing game again.
Well, and he's establishing the running game here because of the blitz of the Lions that they fear.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for the 49ers. 7-7 is the score. An audible called by Montana. Roger Craig picks up 7 yards on the play. Hard charging August Curley, and Kurt Ollerman make the tackle.
On the tackle, Kurt Ollerman.
Curtis Green is in the game at left defensive end for Eric Williams for the Lions, number 62.
Watch with Craig's speed right here. They don't even have to block 59 Williams. Craig gets out around him, uses a little straight arm, and Watkins has to make the tackle. Might talk about the audibles in here. Real noisy in here. Montana is using hand signals if he has to audible out to the wide receivers.
2nd down and 2 at the 38. Montana. Swing pass to Craig. Has the first down. Bruce McNorton making the stop. Could not prevent Craig from getting another first down for the 49ers at the 43-yard line.
And that was a good play, and that's kind of the theory of the Lions against Roger Craig. You know, everybody plays the 49ers now. They have to point to stop this man. And the Lions, Wayne Fonts, their defensive coordinator, says, we're not going to pressure Craig. We're going to let him catch the ball and then come up on him. If you pressure him, he'll fake you out, break a tackle, and then you're really in trouble.
1st and 10 at the 43 with 4:25 remaining in the first quarter. Play action pass. First one of the game for Montana. He hits Tyler, who is stopped on the own 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 yards for the 49ers. August Curley inside making the tackle. So far in 85, Joe Montana has more completions, more yards gained, and more touchdowns than he did as opposed to last year at this time. But he also has thrown more interceptions and has been sacked a heck of a lot more times. 21 compared to 8. The 44-yard line. Freddie Solomon, who has lost his starting job to Jerry Rice, gets the first down.
Watch Montana now on the handoff on this reverse. Now, he may have the flu, but he knows that he doesn't want to block Doug English down low. He's just screened him off, and that got Solomon around the corner. Montana's little screen of English back in the backfield. Oh, you're getting hurt trying to block a 260-pounder.
1st and 10 now at the 44-yard line. Wilson, Mike Wilson, number 85, joins Solomon as a wide receiver. Here's Tyler coming around the right side, and Tyler is upended by Jimmy Williams and gets to the 40-yard line for a gain of 4.
Jimmy Williams.
It's a little counter movement here. Step there. Here comes Tyler. Airs out in front. Jimmy Williams, though, beats the block by Russ Francis. Falls back inside, or the 49ers really had something going.
2nd down and 6. Carl Monroe now in the backfield, giving Tyler a breather. He's number 32 and goes in motion. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. And he's there to make the catch, trying to find the sticks as close to him. William Graham, the free safety, who was moved from strong safety this year and is a good run enforcer, making the stop shy of a first down by about a yard. So it'll be 3rd and 1. 49ers have all the first downs in this game. The Lions last week had no first downs rushing. That's the first time that's happened in 13 years. Right now they have no first downs anyway. Ball at the 35. Loss on the play. Jimmy Williams penetrated and a loss of a yard, and the Lions defensive line was outstanding there.
Young Eric Williams, 76, over here on the left side.
Jimmy Williams on the tackle for Detroit.
That's a big push. So does Curtis Green, number 62, and they stuffed it up over here on the right side against the 49ers.
Already 5 tackles for Jimmy Williams, who's had a spectacular year. He leads the Lions with 4 sacks of quarterbacks as Max Runeker gets set to punt. That was his first punt, and this man returned it 63 yards for a touchdown. Pete Manley from Northern Arizona. Runeker going for the right sidelines. Alvin Hall and company back. This ball will bounce on the 5 and down at the 2 by Guy McIntyre. McIntyre downs it, and so the Lions will get a dose of their own medicine when we come back to the Silverdome. Makes the tackle. Meanwhile, waiting on the sideline, former Buffalo Bills quarterback Joe Ferguson, who started 12 years, but this week told Darryl Rogers that it's not Eric Hippel's fault what's been going on, and that he deserves to stay in there.
In last week's game, Darryl Rogers said, Joe, do you want to go in for Eric? And he said, I want to play in the worst way, but I don't want to go in for Eric now because what's happening out there isn't his fault.
Second down and 7. The ball at the 6-yard line for Hipple and company, and he was booed when he came out on this drive. Wilbert Montgomery, the ex-Eagle, tries to go wide and gets maybe a yard, and the boos continue to cascade down from the stands here at the Silverdome. Ricky Ellison on the tackle. Good crowd today, over 70,000, not a sellout. Wilbert Montgomery spent 8 years in Philadelphia, had 45 touchdowns, over 6,500 yards, but perhaps not the runner he used to be.
No, they say perhaps that he slowed down a half a step or a step or so, but he's still plenty good. And he really hasn't had time to fit into a system here and work with the fullback James Jones. Johnson, we just don't complement each other right now.
Third down and 6. Hipple swings it out, caught by James Jones, shy of a first down, however. Now they say incomplete. Jones coming out of the backfield. Keenan Turner defending on the play. And it's 4th down, and now you'll hear the crowd booing.
Keenan Turner, another player who's been bothered by injury this year. Jones, one of the premier receivers coming out of the backfield in the league. Looks like he has control of it to me. It looks like Turner brought him off, but no fumble.
The Lions have had the ball for 6 plays. The 49ers for 23. As Mike Black gets set to kick in the end zone, Dana McLemore is back for the 49ers and standing in Lion territory. Last week, the Lions had the ball for only 19 minutes against the Redskins. Fumble in the end zone. Maybe a touchdown.
McIntyre, I believe.
That's who it is. That doesn't happen to an offensive lineman often, Wayne.
No, it doesn't. He just took the ball away from the punter back there. After a little bit of a bobble, McIntyre just outfought Mike Black for the ball and ended up with 6 points. Here it is right here. There's the bobble. Now watch Black go for it. And look at McIntyre. He just says, no, it's not yours. It's mine. It's my 6.
Guy McIntyre and Darryl Rogers seeing a big mistake hurt the Lions. And Ray Wersching with Kavanaugh holding to try to make it a 14-7 ball game with less than a minute to go in the first quarter does. So already we have had 2 special teams touchdowns today, one by each club. Here's the latest.
It was a good snap. It was right where you want it. And as he's trying to get the laces out of the way, spinning it, getting the laces out of the way, that's when he lost control. Now, you can't blame the center. That was a perfect snap. And Black did catch it and had control. He just fumbled it when he was trying to turn the laces out of the way.
Guy McIntyre in his 2nd year, the man they say has more ability than any offensive lineman, and a good one to start sometime in the future, has given the Lions a 14-7 lead with an alert play. 34 seconds remain in the first quarter. Pete Manley returned a punt 63 yards to give the Lions a lead. Joe Montana capped a 70-yard, 13-play drive with a 1-yard quarterback sneak, and then Guy McIntyre picking up that fumble in the end zone, and the 49ers lead it now 14-7.
You know, Dick, isn't it funny that, the longer you cover this game, you see new things all the time. I've never seen a punter fumble the ball after he really got control of it as he was making his turn. I've never seen that happen in all the years.
Patrick Ewing's debut, and what a stormy preseason it has been. We understand from the New York Knicks he has a bruised elbow, suffered, as you saw in the NFL today last night, but he is expected to play next Saturday against Moses Malone and Julius Erving, the 76ers and the New York Knicks. The return of NBA on CBS. Hope you join us then. Wersching kicking off, Manley returning. Here comes Manley with great speed, and it's Wersching who knocks him out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So Manley with another good return, this one of 35 yards.
Watch Carl Monroe. He's the farthest on the right here for the 49ers coming down on his kickoff, but he gets caught up inside on that little bit of a move right there. There's Monroe, 32, got caught up inside, and Wersching had to make the save. Monroe lost his containment.
I know you're looking forward to Patrick Ewing's debut, the former Georgetown star coming into the pros.
Boy, no question at all. I wish I could have seen some of these exhibition games he's been playing. They sound like they've been wrestling matches.
And he is the real thing, I can tell you that. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. In motion is Nichols. Jones finds a hole and close to a first down. James Jones, with that much time remaining in the first quarter, tackled by Milt McCall and got a good block by Don Greco, the right guard who returned from injured reserve last week. The clock ticking down. The Lions are in 49er territory, and it'll be a first down. That is the end of the first quarter here in Pontiac, where it's 14-7. Home in Pontiac, Michigan. We start the second quarter with the 49ers leading 14-7, but the Lions in Niner territory at the 49, 1st and 10. Eric Hipple, the quarterback. Mark Nichols in motion. Play action. Rolling out is Hipple. Going downfield to Nichols, wide open at the 15. Inside the 10. And Ronnie Lott defending on the play.
Well, somebody missed the coverage there. I'm not quite sure it was Ronnie Lott. He moves back in. Carlton Williamson is over there pretty close too. Little play action really didn't fool anybody. Just a blown coverage. Lott, Williamson are the two closest ones. Hard that it'd be a coin toss to say who was responsible for that. But nevertheless, a good throw by Hipple to Nichols.
A 40-yard play. Keep in mind Jeff Chadwick, the Lions' leading receiver, is out with an injury, not playing today. Leonard Thompson taking his place. There is Nichols in motion again, and here's James Jones. Jones fights his way to the 5-yard line. So the Lions on a 40-yard pass play turns the crowd in their favor once again. Ronnie Lott came up to make the play on James Jones. And here's Lott, who's had a rough year so far, switching from cornerback to free safety. He's been beaten a few times on touchdown passes, and he must have that shoulder still bothering him a bit.
Well, another thing, he has to make the defensive calls back there now from free safety. He's not quite as good at it as Dwight Hicks, and that perhaps caused some confusion on that last play.
Two tight ends, including Rob Rubick, in motion. And here's Jones trying to go inside, and Jones gets to about the 2 or 3 yard line, where it'll be 3rd down for the Lions. Jeff Stover and Ricky Ellison make the stop on Jones, who had his best game, 75 yards in the opening game against Atlanta. Fulton Kuykendall is in the ball game, number 59 for the 49ers, just activated.
They said they're going to use him a lot like they used Jack Reynolds in the past. They'd use him on first down running situations and on short yardage and goal line. And then, of course, Michael Walter is still going to be the starter, but this is going to be their run defense specialist.
Kuykendall came over from Atlanta for Lawrence Pillars in a deal just before the year started. 3rd and 2. Jones. He's in. Touchdown.
By Rubick, the tight end. Watch Ron Lott come flying up. One of the reasons they have him at safety. He'll come across and try to make the big hit. Doesn't have quite enough, and Jones battles in.
Eddie Murray ties the game. And with 13:28 to go in the first half, James Jones scores a touchdown. They've been rare for the Lions recently, and we have a tie game once again. Goal, and James Jones carried it in from 2 yards out. Eddie Murray kicking off, Carl Monroe and Dana McLemore, and it's McLemore at the 5. Rides it out to the 27-yard line, where the tackle is made by June James of the Lions. Don't forget, coming up next on CBS Sports, you'll see coverage of America's Marathon from Chicago beginning at 4:30 Eastern.
Star-studded field. Steve Jones, men's division, world record holder. Egan Christensen, women's division, world record holder. And, of course, Joan Benoit.
1st and 10 for the 49ers on the 27-yard line in a 14-14 game. Montana flushed out of the pocket. Jerry Rice drops the ball. It's incomplete.
Montana's pass intended for Jerry Rice.
Rice has become the big play man for the 49er receivers. Couldn't hold on to that one.
I think we can honestly say, and particularly after this play, Dick, that Montana isn't feeling any ill effects right now of the flu. I mean, he not be feeling too well, but he's moving around real well, calling a good game, has thrown extremely well. They have stayed on the ground a lot.
That was the first time that the 49ers have thrown a pass on first down. Movement in the line, the left side for the 49ers. Let's see if they were drawn. Bob Frederick will tell us. First penalty of the ball game as well. And the 49ers have really been penalized heavily this year.
False start. Number 77 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Bubba Paris.
Second down will be
Last week,
replayed.
the right side of the line, guilty on most of the penalties, and the 49ers really have had problems in that department.
No question, it's just a matter of concentration. That's all it is. Those are just mental mistakes.
Over anxiousness is what Fred Quillen told us yesterday, especially against the Bears last week in anticipation against the fierce rush. Second down and 15. Back at the 22, Montana to Tyler. Trapped. And down at the 21-yard line. Loss of one. Michael Kofer and August Curley.
Watch Kofer, number 55. He plays this extremely well. Drops back a couple steps, sees the screen developing, comes up on John Ayers, and then really makes Tyler decide that there's nothing there and perhaps spin around. And then August Curley come over and helped out on the hit. But good play by 55, Kofer.
Third down and 16. Back at the 21. Play action and a good one. Tyler hit as he lets go of it, and it's incomplete. Going for Dwight Clark, and Bruce McNorton was covering on the play. Montana was hit from behind as he let go of it by William Gay. And it's fourth down, and Max Runaker will try to kick it away for the 49ers. Well, this crowd has turned around in a hurry, hasn't it?
It'll get noisy.
Runaker with his third punt, and there's Manley, whose previous longest punt return in the league was 19 yards before the 63-yard scamper down the sideline at the 40-yard line. And Manley brings it into 49er territory at the 48-yard line. Milt McCall making the tackle for San Francisco.
And Dick, we just got some word on Ron Ferrari, who was injured on the opening kickoff, and it's good news. If a pinched nerve is good news, nothing more serious than that. A pinched nerve for Ron Ferrari.
That is good news. Raiders and the Browns, 7-7 in the second quarter. Same score for the Saints and the Falcons, who are looking for their first win. First quarter in an AFC East battle. First and 10 at the 48. They booed Hipple even though he threw that 40-yard completion on the last scoring drive. First and 10 at the San Francisco 48. Open is Nichols. Nichols to the 40-yard line. Gains 8 yards on that pass. Eric Wright and Milt McCall making the tackle. Chargers lead the Vikings 7-0 in the second quarter. Look at that one. Cardinals really struggling now after an early start.
Struggling to put points on the board. Gary Hogeboom with a touchdown pass to Tony Dorsett there.
And the Giants, in a battle of 3-3s, lead the Redskins 7-0. Second down and 2 at the 40-yard line. 14-14 the score. And a first down straight ahead for James Jones to the 31-yard line. Third year back. Stopped by Stover and Walter.
David Jones is the left guard over there. He comes out, gets a block on Walter, and that springs Jones on through.
Jones has been out 2 games with an injury. The one thing he likes to do, Wayne, catch the ball. He's been running it a lot. First and 10 at the 31. Reese McCall is in motion. Here's Jones again. Turns the corner and out of bounds. Good pickup as Jones carries it to the 25-yard line, a gain of 6. Milt McCall making the tackle. He's gained 35 yards, and Manu Tuiasosopo, the nose tackle, is having problems. Don't forget Michael Carter has been on injured reserve.
That would leave them with just one nose tackle, young Scott Garnett.
The Rams lead Kansas City 7-0. You know, they're one of 2 unbeaten teams in the NFL, along with the Chicago Bears. And they have a 3-game lead over the 49ers. That's the lineup next Sunday on CBS. It's a doubleheader, begins with the NFL today. Minnesota, Chicago in an NFC Central battle early. And then, of course, the 49ers and the Rams, longtime rivals. And the 49ers can hope that maybe they'll pick up a game today before that collision. 49ers 3 games back. They have 2 games coming up with the Rams. What do you...
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Rams are going to remember last year. The 49ers put it on them twice. In a big game down in Anaheim, shut them out. And so, you know, they might have a 3-game lead on the 49ers, but they feel that still that they have a payback situation involved.
Tuiasosopo, former Seattle Seahawk, has played well for the 49ers, and they're bringing out the stretcher for him. Scott Garnett, the man to replace Michael Carter on the roster, is the backup nose tackle. We'll see if they use him.
Let's watch it now. Tuiasosopo is 78. David Jones is 51. It looks like the guard who is coming down in behind him a little bit. Let's see what happens. Jones takes a dive at him low. Yes. You know, that's clipping, but it's allowed tackle to tackle on the line of scrimmage, and I've always felt it shouldn't be. There's another reason why it shouldn't be, because he's going out on a stretcher chair.
49ers really have been depleted in their defensive line. They released Jim Stuckey, a former #1 draft pick this week. Michael Carter, who was to be their starting nose tackle, if not early in the year eventually, is on injured reserve, as we said, and now Tuiasosopo is shaken up, and Scott Garnett may get the call.
He's in there now.
Houston over Cincinnati 10-3 in the second quarter. Buffalo over Indianapolis. And the Vikings have tied up the Chargers 7-7. That's a different Minnesota team this year, for sure. Scott Garnett, formerly an 8th-round draft pick of the Denver Broncos, played at the University of Washington. Rams stretched their lead over Kansas City in the second quarter. Second down and 4. Rob Rubik is in motion for the Lions. Jones finds a hole up the middle inside the 15. And a first down for the Lions. Ronnie Lott made the tackle, a 13-yard gain for Jones.
Well, they're getting a good job done up front now, the Lions are. Let's watch how they handle it in there. Keith Dorney with a good block, and Keith Dorney made such a good block over here at right tackle on Stover that he just jammed everybody up. Nobody could pursue and get by, and Jones popped through.
Number 70, Keith Dorney, in his 7th year, a former #1 draft pick. And you're looking at the 2 men making the collision. Lomas Brown, who's the #1 draft pick out of the University of Florida, the left tackle. Shaken up right now for the Lions, and with 10:21 remaining in the first half, we'll take a timeout. Head coaches failed to win in their first year with the Lions, and right now Darryl Rogers is 3-3. He and Bill Walsh both have West Coast beginnings, of course, and both trails crossed San Jose State at one time or another. There's Eric Hipple in the huddle. Lomas Brown was shaken up, came out, and Rich Strenger, in his second year from Michigan, replaces him. First and 10 at the 13 for the Lions in a 14-14 game. Rob Rubik in motion, and it's James Jones fighting his way to the 10-yard line. Jones has been quite a workhorse in this first half, Wayne.
Well, he's really a great back. He is one of the quality backs in the National Football League, no doubt about it. When he was teamed with Billy Sims and people weren't paying a lot of attention to him, that's when he was at his best. We mentioned he's great coming out of the backfield as a receiver. He's a good tough runner, 230 pounds. He's been slow starting this year because he's had a thigh injury.
And he told us yesterday that he misses Billy Sims. They really gelled well together. Hasn't yet with Montgomery. Jones, with a penalty marker down, stopped at the 6-yard line, holding that football out with one hand, and a flag on the play, and that'll be holding against the Lions, so that'll set him back some here. Jones, before that last play, had carried 10 times for 51 yards, so he has seen a lot of action.
Offensive holding, number 87. Second down will be replayed.
Tight end David Lewis, former #1 pick in his second year.
Milt McCall is being held. He was one right there. See him going down. Somebody had an arm lock on him, took him down. That was the call.
It'll be second down and 16 now for the Lions on the 19-yard line. There's the offensive story this quarter. A little dramatic. 9 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the first half. Bootleg on a play action. Hipple rolling out, finds his tight end Lewis, and Lewis is down on the 5-yard line, where it'll be third down and short. Ronnie Lott making the tackle, good for 13.
What Eric Hipp will tell us, what do you like to do best? He says, I like to improvise, throw the ball downfield. I'm not a dink type guy. This is perfect play for him, kind of an option. He rolls out, gets a second look at things, directing traffic. Throws to David Lewis, who was a #1 draft choice a year ago, for the completion.
David Lewis may not be the answer to the tight end problems, we understand. He's had problems running some pass routes. They have Rob Rubick, who was activated yesterday, and Reese McCall as well. 3rd down and 3 at the 6. Hipple fires incomplete. He was going for Nichols, and it was Dwight Hicks and Carlton Williamson both covering Mark Nichols on the play, and it's 4th down, and here comes Eddie Murray.
We said Hipple completing only 49% of his passes, and the reason he doesn't get a real good reception around here is that pass right there thrown into double coverage. Sometimes he has a tendency to throw it where it doesn't belong.
A 24-yard attempt for Eddie Murray, who is 9 of 12 with Hipple holding. The kick is good, and the Lions, who led 7-0, trailed 14-7 before tying the score, have jumped ahead again, 17-14. For the Lions, that's more than they've scored in 3 of their games this year. We have 8 minutes and 19 seconds to go, and so Eddie Murray now 10 of 13 on the year. And the 49ers, once again, Wayne, are finding themselves in a skirmish here in the first half against the team that they are expected to dominate.
There's 2 things that Bill Walsh said about this team that's been different from the one last year is there been their inability to come out and score early in a game. You know, their first couple drives to get points on the board. He said that's been our trademark. But another thing that even concerns him more is when we have gotten a lead, the defense has failed to hold it. They did that against Minnesota in the game they lost. They did that against New Orleans in the game they lost.
Next Sunday, the NFL Today starts it off, and that's the lineup of games featuring Minnesota, Chicago. The Bears are undefeated. The Vikings 3-3, and they're tied right now with San Diego. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern time, and then next Sunday's second game, the battle of the Western Powers, 49ers and the Rams. Rams undefeated and leading Kansas City, and these 49ers who are trying to find a handle. They have had a struggling year. I guess roller coasters, we indicated at the top, really says it all. Eddie Murray will be kicking to Carl Monroe and Dana McLemore. Kick going in the end zone. Monroe. Finally brought down by Arnold Brown. Ron Ferrari, who was taken off on a stretcher and with a neck brace with a pinched nerve, has come back to play, and here he is.
Can you believe it? I love it. No wonder Mike White liked him. No wonder he's still on his team. Hustling, scrapping, and will every play.
He probably got in the dressing room and says, let me get up here. Let me take this thing off. I'm going out. And he had. 1st and 10 for the 49ers on the 24-yard line. Russ Francis in motion. Roger Craig. Eric Williams got a ride from Roger Craig on that one as Craig brings it out to the 28-yard line, a gain of 4. Eric Williams, who beat out Curtis Green for the starting job. Good quickness. He's not big, but he has that burst, which the Lions like.
2nd down and 6 for the
2nd and 6 at the 28-yard line. Tyler going right with Randy Cross and Craig blocking. 1st down. And he knocked William Graham back a few steps before Graham made the tackle. The 49ers have a 1st down and a gain of 13 out to the 41-yard line.
The guards pull, can't find anybody blocked for a while because watch Roger Craig right of your screen. Watch his lead block. The contained man comes up. Craig's got him knocked out. Tyler breaks the tackle there and picks up good yardage. Roger Craig the key to that one.
Tyler has gained 46 yards on 9 carries thus far. Joe Montana, who has the flu but has been in there all the way. 1st and 10 at the 41. Up the middle, Craig. Craig powers his way close to the 45-yard line. Gain of about 3.5 as you look at the clock remaining here in the first half. August Curley and the nose tackle Doug English make the stop. Doug English moving to a new position kind of this year. The nose tackle spot in his 10th year, and they say playing it like he's been there all his life.
Well, definitely a tough position to play. He wasn't too thrilled about it because naturally he'd rather play in a 4-3 or he's got a little bit more freedom. But he says, they asked me to do it, I do it. That's what the game's all about.
Team should have a lot of Doug Englishes. 2nd and 6 now. On the delay, Craig, first down into Detroit territory. See where they spot the ball. Appears to have made the sticks at the 49-yard line. Angelo King, the former Dallas Cowboy, makes the stop on Craig. We are going to have a measurement, and from this vantage point, it appears that the 49ers may have it.
You know, we were talking about Doug English before. You should have seen the block laid on him that time. He was double teamed. That's why I wasn't too thrilled about nose tackle. You get a lot of that out there. He was double teamed that time and blindsided by Bubba Paris, and they just really buried him.
They were short by a few inches. So they don't have the first down, and it'll be
Watch English
down.
now, middle of the line. He's over the guard. Look at Paris come down. It's high-low with John Ayers, and down goes English. That's the tough spot about playing in the middle.
Third down and less than a yard. Montana takes it himself. He has scored a touchdown that way thus far in the ball game.
Montana, the keeper at the middle.
And this time Montana has it as the clock continues to run. We've had a couple of unusual plays in this game. Pete Manley with a 63-yard punt return to give the Lions a lead. Then after Montana's touchdown, Guy McIntyre picked up a fumble in the end zone by Mike Black, the punter. He just lost the ball, fell on it to make it 14-7 49ers. It's 17-14 Lions right now. Montana going up for the big strike. Overthrows Russ Francis, who knocks 2 Lion defenders down. William Graham and Demetrius Johnson, their safeties.
Boy, Montana would like to have that throw back. Play action pass right here. Russ Francis gets a very good release. He's wide open over the middle, and Joe just overthrows this ball. Play action right there. It held some people. Curley was supposed to cover Francis. He can't keep up with him. Look, he was wide open.
It isn't often that Russ Francis goes deep much anymore.
Well, August Curley was fooled by the play action. It froze him, and Francis got in behind him.
So Joe Montana, 5 for 9 and 30 yards as a 2nd and 10 at the Lion 48 with 5:13 to go in the first half. Pitch to Craig. And Craig to the 43, where Jimmy Williams, the linebacker, making the tackle. No relation between Jimmy Williams and Eric Williams, the linebacker and the defensive end. And it'll be 3rd down and about 5 now for the 49ers.
3rd and 5 now.
In their first scoring drive, they drove 70 yards on 13 plays, all but one of them on the ground. James Jones has scored from 2 yards out for the Lions, and Eddie Murray's field goal has been the difference right now. 3rd and 5 at the Detroit 43. They go with Craig. Penalty marker down. Craig is stopped at the 40-yard line by William Graham. A tough hit by the free safety. Marker is down as Craig was shy of a first down by about 2 yards. And this will be against the 49ers. Now what do you do here, Wayne?
If you're Detroit, you've got to take the penalty.
Offensive holding, number 80, and the penalty will be declined. 4th down.
Penalty will be declined, they said. There it is right here.
4th down.
Oh, that's surprising. I know it's 4th down, but it's still a yard to go.
4th and 2, and it's out of Wershing's range.
You know, I tell you what, that still surprises me because I still figured that the 49ers would have gone for it on 4th down.
Max Runager will kick from his 45. Manley is back. Runager with a good high kick. Let's see how far it sails. It's well deep in the end zone. That'll be a touchback. So with 4:07 to go, the Lions have the lead, and the ball will be come back on their own 20.
The 49ers. Now they're getting thin up front.
McIntyre has scored a touchdown already, picking up a loose ball in the end zone, dropped by the punter, Mike Black. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 Lions on the 20, leading 17-14. James Jones. Head down, Carries it out to the 23. Ronnie Lott and Milt McCall making the tackle.
On the tackle, Ellison and
This
Lott.
Guy McIntyre looks like he's getting ready for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Well, if we see him putting something on that says Everlast over there, we know he will.
It looks like one of our shots in the dressing room before a fight.
That's right.
2nd and 6 at the 24. I don't know how many guys would want to get in the ring with McIntyre. Fred Dean and Gary Johnson are in the game, defensive line for the 49ers. And they're going to go reverse to Mark Nichols. Hipple is out there blocking, and Nichols carries it out to the 39-yard line. And Peanut Turner made the stop, a 14-yard play. Peanut Turner was the only man left, and a blocking situation for the quarterback
You
here.
bet it is, and he didn't just fancy foot into it. Watch him right here. He's out in front like he's the guard. Eric Wright's the one's going to show up. Watch the block by Hipple. He threw at him, and that got Nichols around. Watch what happens to the defensive line now. They read it. They come over here. It's a run this way, and they all spin. And that's, you know, when you're a defensive lineman or a linebacker and you make that spin move, when you know you've been fooled, you think, oh, I hope nobody's about 2 feet away ready to blindside me.
1st and 10 at the 39, and an audible here by Hipple. He goes to Jones, and Jones bangs heads and gets to the 45-yard line, a gain of 6. Carlton Williamson and Gary Johnson making the tackle, and James Jones has been a hero on the ground for the Lions, where they have been able to find very few.
Yes, they have. And see, the 49ers are using 4 down linemen since the injury to Tuiasa Sopo. They've gone with 4 down linemen. It's not their nickel defense. It's a defense it's a 4-3, a defense they call the Buffalo.
There's Jones, 61 yards. What about the Navajo? Oh, that's another one. Wilbert Montgomery, 1st down for the Lions into 49er territory. Ronnie Lott making the tackle as we come down to the 2-minute mark. So Jones with 61 yards, but Wilbert Montgomery limps off the field, and our 2-minute warning is in effect. Patch over his eye. He was poked in his eye, and of course came out of the lineup. Guy McIntyre replacing him. 2 minutes to go now in the first half. The Lions lead 17-14. Wilbert Montgomery, who carried for the 1st down before the 2-minute warning, is being tended to on the sideline. Lomas Brown, by the way, was shaken up earlier, the left tackle. The rookie is back at left tackle for the Lions. And it's 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 49. 17-14, Detroit in front. In motion is Reese McCall, and it's Jones up the middle. Head down, fights his way to the 45 at a gain of about 4 yards on the play. Each side has 3 timeouts remaining. Stover and Ellison make the tackle. The Lions Wayne has already gained more yards in this first half than they average for an entire game.
The 49ers can't find the right defense. They were in a 4-man line for a while. Now they're back to 3.
Got 87 yards on the ground. They've averaged 80 for a game. 2nd and 5. Hipple looking for help under pressure. Completes to the tight end, David Lewis. 1st down to the 25 of San Francisco. Ellison and Kuykendall made the tackle.
Great composure by Hipple. Ronnie Lott comes in, safety blitz, right side of your screen. Play action doesn't fool him at all. Jones gets a little piece of him. Now watch Lott come. Hipple releases to wide open David Lewis. Great improvising.
Also on the tackle, Ellison.
There it is right here. He'll get hit as he releases by Lott, but he hangs in there and gets it done.
And Lewis, former number 1, and you see how upset Bill Walsh is, a 19-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 26. Mark Nichols in motion. Play action, and down he goes. Bill McCall coming in from the linebacking position. Scott Garnett also in on the play, and the 1st sack of Eric Hipple today.
Lott came again on a safety blitz. You won't see him right outside. Watch the nose tackle number 32. That's Garnett. He comes and makes the hit. Scott Garnett, playing for Tuiasa Sopo, beats the center, Steve Mott.
1st sack of the ball game, and credited to Scott Garnett. Hipple over on the sideline now.
It'll be Detroit 1st and
Timeout called by the Lions, and Hipple's shaken up a bit, and Darrell Rogers checking with him right now.
You know, got to be a tough situation, Dick. A guy like Eric Hipple, you know, first play of the game, his first incomplete pass, the fans were on him. And just think, a couple years ago, it was that same way. Hipple was the backup. Gary Danielson was the quarterback here, and they were booing Danielson and wanted Hipple in.
They always want the guy who's not the incumbent here. Wilbert Montgomery, we understand, has a bruised right knee, and he may not be back. As you get a good look at Eric Hipple, who said, you know, I've been here 6 years, and I've had now my 4th offensive coordinator. And here's Joe Ferguson into the ball game as Hipple's shaken up.
Now the dimension he brings in, he's got a great arm. He's smart. He can read defenses, but you won't see him moving around nearly as well as Hipple will back there.
Ferguson has had 1 appearance this year in relief of Hipple against the Packers and was really sharp. 10 of 11.
Was he? 10 of 11.
139 yards and a touchdown.
Well, Dick, he completed 52% of his passes in his career in Buffalo, and that's like 70% somewhere else because the weather gets so bad and it's so windy up in Rich Stadium half the year.
Alvin Moore, number 24, joins James Jones in the backfield. Pressure on Ferguson. Tripped up and down way back at the 37-yard line, and the Lions are signaling they want a timeout, and they get it now with 32 seconds to go. Jeff Fuller coming in. Ferguson almost got away.
They're going to put the pressure on him, like we said, because he's not as nifty back there, and it was just his footwork that got him in trouble. Coming off the bench, perhaps not entirely warmed up, but he's not real nifty. Dwayne Board, 76 on a stunt, and he stubbed his toe on the AstroTurf and went down on his own. That's just exactly what I was talking about when he came in the game.
The Lions have only 1 timeout remaining. They were in decent field goal position, and now they're out of field goal range with the ball back at the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 16. Joe Ferguson, traded to the Lions in April, really took a pounding in Buffalo. 26th in the NFL in passing last year. But he's got that arm, and maybe he's going to need it right here.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just a tough place to play up there in Buffalo. Everyone knows it snows and gets cold a lot, but I've never been in Rich Stadium, Dick, where the wind hasn't been blowing 20 miles an hour coming off the lake up there. It's, you know, you talk about it blowing in Shea Stadium and in Cleveland's Municipal Stadium, but the numbers that Ferguson put on the board up there in Buffalo are a lot better than they appear.
Back spasms is what Eric Hipple is suffering from right now as you look at the 49ers secondary, anticipating the long throw by Ferguson. Nichols, Manley, and Leonard Thompson are the 3 wide receivers. 3rd and 19 at the 37. Lions have 1 timeout left. Pressure, the blitz. Ferguson steps up and hits Manley. Manley to the 23-yard line. A 14-yard gain. They're shy of a 1st down.
And he'll be working against Dana McLemore. The Niners in the nickel. This is a great throw by Ferguson. He'll have it right on the money as Manley makes the outcut.
They didn't get the 1st down, but they're definitely in Eddie Murray's field goal range now. So Ferguson completed the 14-yard pass to Manley. And now a 41-yard attempt for Murray, who's already kicked one from 24. Holding. Is the punter blocked? The kick is good. And Wayne, that was all the more difficult because it was a new holder in there for him. The punter, Mike Black, and not Eric Hipple.
No question it is. It always goes through your mind, but Murray's been consistent. I'll tell you what helps him a lot is Black's the punter, okay? So he and Murray, sometimes during practice, as you watch the reaction, are the only 2 guys that aren't doing anything. And a lot of times in practice, they'll go down the other end of the field, and Black, the punter, will hold for him.
Bill Walsh's 49ers trail the Lions 20-14. That's how much time remains. So the 49ers' first half troubles continue in this game. And a 20-14 ball game. 23 seconds to go. The 49ers have all 3 of their timeouts, which really is not important when you look at the clock.
Not much they can do. I would imagine the Lions will kick the ball on the ground here to start things off. Murray will kick a wobbler.
Murray has kicked 2 field goals to break a 14-14 tie created when James Jones went over from 2 yards out. Dana McLemore is back along with Carl Monroe, anticipating a possible return, and Eddie Murray will kick off. The Lions lead it 20-14, the most points they've scored in the ball game, 30 against Tampa Bay. Murray kicks it on the ground. It's going to be Monroe at the 16. Goes outside, Monroe to the 40. And Monroe out of bounds and 49ers couldn't ask for more. They get the ball with a clock stop at the 46. John Bostic ran Monroe out of bounds. A 29-yard kickoff return. Don't forget, coming up today at halftime, 16 seconds from now, Brennan Irv with scores and highlights and an interview with Patrick Ewing, who's the real thing. Coaches around the NBA are saying makes his debut next Saturday on CBS. Meanwhile, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Montana swings it out to Craig. Craig is hit by Jimmy Williams. See if the 49ers just let the clock run. Are they going to call a timeout? They have 2 left. Two timeouts left for the 49ers. 8 seconds to go, and the ball is at their own 45.
You would think that they've got to be thinking field goal. You know, one pass completion, call a timeout very quickly here, because certainly the chances of getting the end zone are not very good. I would imagine, you know, Wersching's got a range indoors, Dick. He can kick it 55 yards indoors here in these conditions, setting up on this turf. So they've got to get the ball to probably about the 35, 37-yard line of Detroit's before they'd have a shot.
They're going to try and get a big one first, because they've got Clark, Wilson, Rice, and Solomon. 4 wide receivers in the game right now. Ray Wersching, by the way, his longest field goal this year has been from 42 yards out. They call it trips to the left. 3 wide receivers out to the left. Montana pumps, fakes, goes to the other side to Jerry Rice, who does not hold on. Bobby Watkins defending, and Jerry Rice had seemingly timed that leap perfectly.
It's looked that way over on the far sideline. He turned around and saw it. I think perhaps before Watkins did. Got stopped. Let's take a look. What a leap. Had his hands on it, started to bring it down, and then Watkins, I think, got an arm around and a hand in there and helped that ball come out a little bit. Great effort by both players, though. That was a tremendous vertical leap by Jerry Rice.
1 second remains, and so Montana's going to have to just throw it up for grabs again in the same formation. Rice to the right, 3 wide receivers to the left. Montana going high, this time to the left side. Incomplete, and that'll do it for the first half. William Graham got a hand on it, and that's the first half. And listen to the cheers for the Lions as they leave the field. The Lions lead the 49ers 20-14. Another surprise for San Francisco. The 49ers also 3-3, and Joe Ferguson is throwing, and with Eric Hipple not to be seen, Ferguson will undoubtedly start the second half for the Lions, and here's why.
Back spasms brought on undoubtedly by a couple of hits. He completes this pass to David Lewis, but watch him take a shot by Ronnie Lott just as he releases. Lott on a safety blitz. One play later, he gets it from the nose tackle, Scott Garnett, who comes in over the middle. Big 92, his first sack of the year. Hipple's down again and out of the ball game.
And Ferguson, who threw a 14-yard pass to Pete Manley to set up the field goal by Murray to account for the 6-point lead, will be starting the second half. And not only does Eric Hipple have back spasms, but he has a bruised chest cavity as well. So Joe Ferguson, who had made 1 appearance this year, and that in a terrific showing against the Green Bay Packers, will start it out as Ray Wersching will kick off for the 49ers. The Lions with a balanced attack and important 87 yards rushing. That's better than they've done or averaged all year.
And we mentioned that because of the fact that they've got some of their offensive line back, and particularly the guard Del Greco.
Alvin Hall is in the middle. Alvin Moore and Pete Manley flanking as we get set for the second half kickoff. And it's Alvin Hall at the 5-yard line. Runs into a crowd and is dropped shy of the 20-yard line by Earl Cooper. Last 3 possessions for the Lions. They had good field position on 2 of them, and they scored on all 3. So they're just shy of the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Joe Ferguson 35-year-old veteran. Word on Ferguson is that if his first 2 passes are bad, he gets really down on himself, really tough to recover. But he pitches this time to James Jones. Jones gained 66 yards as you see the flag down in the first half. He is the leading rusher in the ball game. Keena Turner and Jeff Stover make the stop on hard-working James Jones. Looks like a holding call against the Lions. Relatively penalty-free ball game, Wayne.
It has been. And let me tell you something about Ferguson while we've got a moment here.
Offensive holding, number 81.
Darryl Rogers.
First down will be repeated.
Darryl Rogers, when the season started, the penalty was on Reese McCall, did not want to have a quarterback controversy. Started training camp, he said, job's wide open. It either belongs to Ferguson or Eric Hipple, whoever wins it. Hipple won it in preseason. That's why he started all these games. And he won it fair and square, Darryl Rogers said. He just moved the ball better than Ferguson did in the preseason. But the fans have wanted Ferguson since Hipple got up to such a slow start.
And you explained that history here in Detroit. You were part of it. First and 19 back at the 11. Nichols to the right. They're going to run it to Jones. Head down. He's moving the pile, as they say, effectively today is Jones. Michael Walter makes the tackle as Jones brings it out to the 15.
230-pounder. You know, everyone that's coached this man, number 30, talks about his vision. How he's got almost like Larry Bird in the NBA. He can see things 2 steps before they happen. He sees the whole field. He can adjust and make cuts and moves, and particularly when he runs pass patterns and those kinds of things. He says he has great vision on the football field.
He had gained 45 yards on the ground in the last 2 games, but he's just about knocking on the door of 70 yards here. Second and 15. Back at the 15. Poor field position for the Lions. And the 49ers will try to take advantage of it. Ferguson trying to get away from Dwayne Board. Finds a man, and it's almost intercepted. Flag is down. Carlton Williamson. It was Leonard Thompson, the intended receiver. And it was Williamson who had the ball in his hands and out. Let's see what this call is. I think I spoke too soon when I said penalty free. Bob Frederick.
There was no foul. The flag will be picked up.
Well, you've dropped your wallet in the street, haven't you, once or twice? That happens. Rogers thinks that there was a good reason for that flag. Darryl Rogers became a head coach in the NFL at age 50. He says, if you're going to do it, now is the time to do it, although he said he never had a burning desire to coach in the pros.
They said when he was at Fresno State, he really didn't have a burning desire to go to San Jose State. Whereas at San Jose State, he said he didn't have a burning desire to go to Michigan State or one to go to Arizona State.
But he did.
Yeah.
Third down and 15.
Maybe he just doesn't have burning desires.
Jones, who's stopped from behind by Jeff Stover. Stover might have prevented further damage with that good shoe-top tackle. What a year Jeff Stover's had.
Yes, he has. He hustles all over the field, got great speed, but that's what happens in a long yardage situation like that. The defensive linemen are all thinking pass rush, so they take wide rushes, and once in a while you can pop something up the middle, but Stover saved one.
Mike Black, and McLemore is back. Black lost the handle of a punt in the end zone in the first quarter, fumbled it. Guy McIntyre pounced on it for a 49er touchdown. McLemore has been averaging less than 7 yards a return on punts this year. That's not effective enough. High spiral. And McLemore lets it bounce on the 40, and the Lions like the way it rolls. Do they ever? And they'll down it at the 29-yard line. A 47-yard punt by Mike Black. Don't forget, coming up next on CBS Sports, America's Marathon in Chicago. The year's top marathon field will be there, including Olympic champion Joan Benoit, plus world record holder Steve Jones and Ingrid Christensen. 12,000 runners racing throughout Chicago. Coming up next here on CBS Sports. First and 10 for the 49ers on the 30. Trailing the Lions 20-14. Montana's been in there all the way, despite the flu. Being chased. Jerry Rice on a short 4-yard gain. Bobby Watkins defending on the play. Was Rice's #1 intended receiver, you wonder?
More than likely not. Let's take a look over here on the other side. Isolated replay on Dwight Clark. Pretty well covered. And then Montana's rolling right at this time and gets it to Rice.
First catch for Rice. Montana 7 of 13 for 32 yards. Second down and 7 at the 33. Tyler stopped at the 39-yard line, shy of a first down by a couple of yards. Doug English chased him.
Tackle for Detroit.
Wendell Tyler will be going against his former team, the Rams, next week in that big showdown out west between the 49ers and the Rams.
Again, no return to the game in the offensive line by John Ayers. It was poked in the eye. Guy McIntyre is in there now for the 49ers. Has been in the last couple series.
3rd and 2. Curtis Green and Steve Bach come in for the Lions for the pass rush. 3rd, and there's Earl Cooper going outside, and he's dropped for a loss. Back to the 35 by William Graham. Jimmy Williams also in on the play, and they tried a little trickery there to Earl Cooper, the tight end.
William Gay, number 79, got some pretty deep penetration back there also. That made Cooper belly back. 79 was back there, and that made the difference.
William Graham has made several big plays in the secondary for the Lions. Now Max Runeker will punt. Manley is back. They're going way out of bounds. They don't want Manley to get his hands on this one. And it goes out of bounds, let's see, at about the 35, 37-yard line. Lions have it and the lead when we return to Pontiac. 49ers come back or not, it's another struggling week for the defending champions.
Well, it definitely is. Remember, we were talking to him at practice yesterday, Dick, and we talked to him about, you know, is part of your team getting old? Is part of your team not playing up to its capabilities? And he said, well, you know, we have won 2 Super Bowls since '81. We have been in the NFC Championship. Perhaps some of that is taking its toll on the players, not only age-wise, but, you know, and desire-wise and those kinds of things. He says it's something you don't know until it happens.
Bill Walsh hopes it's not happening. 1st and 10 at the 39 for the Lions. Leading 20-14 with 11:17 remaining in the period. Jones flagged down, cutting inside, gets to the 43-yard line, and another flag down. James Jones, 79 yards before that carry, and holding against the Lions. Jones' career high is 87 yards, and James Jones is approaching that number. But first, the penalty call.
Offensive holding, number 86. First down will be replayed.
Mark Nichols.
He comes in from the side on Eric Wright. It's a crossover toe hold with a hammerlock.
Mark Nichols on the penalty. So it's first down, 19 to go. Back at the 30-yard line. Nichols goes to the top of your screen, and Leonard Thompson to the bottom. Thompson playing in place of the injured Jeff Chadwick, the leading receiver for the Lions. Rubik just activated, moves. Pressure on Ferguson, he dumps it off to James Jones. Jones fights his way to the 35-yard line, where Milt McCall makes the tackle. And an injured Lion, that's David Jones, who started at left guard against the Redskins last week, had been the right guard. He's forced to start because of problems to other offensive linemen.
Collision out there with Keena Turner on that play as Turner red screen came up, tried to take down some of the interference, and David Jones was the man.
Several players shaken up today. Ron Ferrari on the opening kickoff, pinched nerve in the neck and came back and was in there again. Manu Tuiasosopo was taken off on a seat stretcher and has not come back. Second down and 14 at the 35.
What they've done is move Keith Dorney over to guard, and Stringer comes in for Dorney. Dorney's never played guard before. He's the right tackle we talked about earlier.
Ronnie Lott coming in, and he moves Board aside. He says, let me at him. Ferguson gets by Ellison. He'll have the first down. Midfield. 49ers gave chase, but Ferguson gets 15 yards and a first down for the Lions.
Pretty good speed by the 13-year veteran here. We said he wasn't too nifty, but when you get a shot of adrenaline, when you got the big guys chasing you, and that's Jeff Stover right there chasing, you turn it on, and he did.
Lions have been the team to make the big plays today. Punt return for a touchdown. Of course, Guy McIntyre fell on a ball in the end zone for a 49ers score. But some big pass plays to set up a touchdown and a field goal. 1st and 10 midfield for Ferguson and the Lions. Eric Hipple shaken up, not playing in this half. Jones looking for room, and Jones picks up 7 yards with nifty running.
Yeah, nifty running, and that's because of that vision we were telling you about. He can just see things, a peripheral vision. He goes up, no hole, sidestep, found one, cuts into that one. Sees better than anybody any of these coaches have ever coached, they say. And every coach that's been here in Detroit has said that.
Having the best day of his career rushing as Milt McCall and Fulton Kuykendall make the stop. It is 2nd and 3 now as the Lions in 49er territory at the 43 with just about 9.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Lions lead 20-14. And it's Jones again. Cut back inside and has a first down inside the 40-yard line. Tackled by Kuykendall, and that's the 19th carry of the game for Jones. Wilbert Montgomery shaken up earlier in the ball game, and there is Kuykendall, who's had all sorts of ailments and injuries in his 11-year career.
That he's a quality linebacker, and particularly against the run. But when the 49ers acquired him, training camp, he was playing as well during the training camp period as any linebacker they had, then was injured.
1st and 10 Lions on the 38. Ferguson overthrows Nichols. He was there and he was open. Hicks was around him, but the pass was just thrown away. Mark Nichols, former #1 draft pick in his 5th year, coming off his best year, a guy with a lot of talent, but somehow the word is he makes a lot of mental mistakes, which has kind of held him back.
Well, and he had some physical problems too. He's #1 in '81, as you mentioned. He had a broken shoulder and then a broken foot his 2nd year, so he's injured his first 2 years.
Came into the game with 10 catches, but 2 of those for touchdowns. 2nd and 10. That's Reese McCall in motion. And that's Jones again. Doesn't get much. It'll be 3rd and long. Keenan Turner making the tackle for the 49ers. Lions coming into this game last in the NFC in total offense, last in rushing offense, and only 1 touchdown in the last 2 games. And here they are with a 20-14 lead. Somehow, some way, the Lions, before the good home crowd against tough teams, always come up with the performance they need.
Well, they've got a winning record here at the Silverdome, and over that same course of time, they don't have a winning record in the NFL.
They're 2-0 this year at home. As you see the clock ticking down, under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 9 at the 37. Ferguson fires. Incomplete. Manley had it. Covering on the play was Eric Wright. It looked like Wright wanted to get an extra shot in after the bell on Pete Manley.
Yes, he was starting to close on the ball. It's a great throw by Ferguson. Manley just wasn't quite ready for it. Combination pattern here. One receiver pulls up. Manley makes a deeper turn towards the outside, and the ball hit him right on the shoulder pads, bounced up in the air, didn't get his hands up in time for that ball.
Good pass by Ferguson. Pete Manley, who has a punt return for a touchdown, and now Mike Black.
Black's a good athlete. He can throw out of this situation and a pretty good runner, so 49ers have to be alert.
Here's McLemore. That's not a good average. 24th in the NFL in punt returns. High kick, good kick by Black. Lions will try to keep it in play. Makes a 49er bounce, but the Lions will take it as it is down right there at about the 50-yard line. 4 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Let's bring you up to date on some scores around the league. The Raiders lead the Browns 14-7 in the 3rd quarter. Battle of 4 and 2 teams. Houston over Cincinnati. We have a lot more for you, which we'll bring you up to date. Atlanta leading New Orleans, looking for win number 1 on the year. 1st and 10 for the 49ers on their 15-yard line. Jerry Rice in motion. Carl Monroe out of the backfield, drops the pass. He was open. He's in there for Tyler. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Buffalo leading Indianapolis 14-9. Bills looking for their first win. San Diego ahead of Minnesota 10-7 in the 3rd. Look at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, look at St. Louis having problems putting score on the board.
And giving up a lot of points, too.
Dorsett 2 touchdowns in that one.
Rams leading. Mike Lansford has 3 field goals in that game. 2nd down and 10 at the 15. Lone back now is Craig. Pitch to him. Montana batted down by Jimmy Williams. 49ers had a man open. It might have been Freddie Solomon.
That was Earl Cooper. If Williams doesn't knock that down, you're going to get a completion to Cooper. Williams makes the rush. He's trying to loft it over to Cooper right out here, number 89. And had he caught it, he had plenty of room, but a great play by the linebacker Williams.
Lions are playing a terrific defensive game today. 3rd down and 10. 7:24 remaining. 6 defensive backs. This is the 3rd quarter. Montana has Craig. Craig has the first down as he gets to the 31-yard line. Roger Craig on a 16-yard gain, most of it done with his piston-like legs as Graham and Alvin Hall make the stop.
So guys, as we said, has been the main man for the 49ers offense all year long. Montana with plenty of time gets it to Craig. Now watch him turn it up here. They said they were going to play him loose, not pressure him. But that high step because he was a hurdler in high school and in college, and a great player.
3 receptions, 20 yards for Craig. Dwight Clark in motion, 1st and 10 at the 31. Montana finds Clark. And the shoe is missing by one of the Lions as Clark is stopped at the 40 by Kurt Ollerman and Bobby Watkins, shy of a first down by about a yard.
Clark comes in motion all the way across the formation this time. Hesitates for a minute till they clear out, see him stop right there, and then cut over the middle underneath the linebackers.
2nd down and 1 now for the 49ers. 6:13 to go. Mike Wilson, number 85, replaces Dwight Clark. Tyler straight ahead, barrels his way to the first down to the 45-yard line. Doug English gets the brunt of that.
Doug English on the
That was a pile that moved, huh?
49ers, of course, can't say they don't like playing in this stadium because it was here at Super Bowl 16 that they beat Cincinnati Bengals to win their first Super Bowl. '49ers have kept it on the ground, as those numbers say. Tyler going outside into Lion territory. First down more. As he gets it to the 42-yard line of Detroit, Graham and Curley make the tackle, and 14 yards for Tyler.
Boy, he made a great adjustment right at the point of attack. Roger Craig comes and gets a block on the lead block. Watch Craig now get a block here. Supposed to run inside, but he sees Allerman up in the hole, Tyler does, and bounces it back outside and picks up extra yardage. Kurt Allerman, the linebacker, had played well, but Tyler just bounced it out with his vision and quickness.
Tyler, 70 yards gain on 12 carries. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Montana almost trips, and he's intercepted. Demetrius Johnson.
What a play.
Last week, Montana did not throw a touchdown pass, nor did he throw an interception. But Demetrius Johnson picks this off just as the Niners were moving smartly.
A strong safety play action right here. Fooled him a little bit, but you won't see a better catch than that all year long, even on the offensive side of the football.
His 2nd interception of the season.
Watch it here, great angle. Montana tries to lift it over there. Johnson with one hand pulls it in.
So the Lions on Demetrius Johnson's 2nd interception have it 1st and 10 on their 36 with 4:48 to go. Ferguson up the middle. Complete to Alvin Moore, and Moore picks up 8 yards. Tackle by Dwight Hicks and Ricky Ellison. And Alvin Moore, former Colt, who played for Darryl Rogers at Arizona State in his 3rd year. The turnover story has really been a key factor for the 49er problem.
I think that is the story. That and mental errors such as holding and dropping passes and those kinds of things.
Bill Walsh fully aware of all of that. 2nd down and 2 at the 44. Clock remaining in the 3rd quarter. Jones may have a 1st down for the Lions. And right now, Wayne, you'd have to say that the Lions may be outplaying the 49ers in several aspects of this game.
I don't think there's any question about it.
Scott Garnett and Dwayne Board on the tackle, and Darryl Rogers, who has seen his team jump out to a 3-1 start this year, only to lose to Green Bay and Washington and score only 13 points in the last 2 games, leading 20-14, knowing how important another touchdown would be for them here. And Bill Walsh trying to find a way to stop the surge. 1st and 10 at the 47. Play action. Freezes everyone. Ferguson going deep. And a mix-up. The receiver, Leonard Thompson, went downfield, and the pass was like 10 yards short.
I think so much of a mix-up there, Dick, is the fact that Dwight Hicks really had the glove on Leonard Thompson that time. Ferguson had nowhere to go, didn't want to chance an interception, and threw it away.
That was called a short throwaway. Normally you see the other guy.
Yeah. A less obvious type throwaway when they really airmail it out of bounds.
2nd down and 10 at the 47. 3:21 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We have not had any scoring in this 3rd quarter. The Lions leading 20-14. Ferguson, Thompson. Good catch by Thompson. Yard play. Williamson and Waller make the tackle.
A big player for the Lions over the years. Leonard Thompson, 50 catches last year and made a couple big plays against the Niners. Eric Wright on the coverage, catches it over middle, takes a hit from Carlton Williamson, and a big play. Again, number 39.
One of the oldest receivers in the NFL at 33, Leonard Thompson, who's been relegated to the 3rd wide receiver role, but playing in place of Chadwick today. 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 32. Jones, as if he were going for 1 yard and a 1st down, dives to the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 2. Stover and Milt McCall combine to make the tackle. 98 yards for James Jones. And the last time the Lions had a back going over 100 yards was just about a year ago, October 21st, when Billy Sims gained 103 yards. And that was the game in which he injured his knee.
I'm going to say a fateful day not only for Sims but the Lions franchise.
2nd and 8 at the 30. Jones on the pitch. To the 27-yard line. Milt McCall again on the tackle.
I'll tell you one thing, Dick, this game is really developing now into a head-knocking contest. There's really some hitting down on the field. Both sides of the football.
101 yards for James Jones. That's easily a career high. It's been a year since the Lions have had a back to go over that mark. And the crowd salutes him. Meanwhile, problems for Bill Walsh. 3rd and 5 for the Lions. I don't think the Lions want to see the wave right now.
Not when they're calling signals.
Penalty marker down, and the pass. Another flag is down. Hicks was defending against Mark Nichols. We have 2 flags down. It's loud enough here. I don't know how Joe Ferguson can hear. And I'm sure the wave affected the Lions.
It did.
On that play. On the sideline, the Lions are trying to tell the crowd that's not the good time for us.
Well, I know from past experience this Detroit crowd doesn't always do what you want it to.
Here's Bob Frederick.
Illegal motion on the offense. It was a right tackle, and it will be refused. 4th down.
Now, what you have to do in a situation like this, even the 49ers, when a crowd gets noisy, you just have to go on the ball. When the ball is snapped by the center, you really can't go on a snap count. 49ers have worked on that all week.
Eddie Murray will try to extend the lead to 23-14. Eric Hipple is in the game and is holding. He had back spasms. This is a 45-yard attempt for Murray, who has kicked 2 field goals. And Murray's kick is good. Eddie Murray with a 45-yard field goal. His 3rd of the ball game, and the Lions lead by 9. 46, this from 45, Wayne.
Huge points, too, because up until that time, 49ers could have gone ahead and perhaps win the game with a touchdown. Now they have to score twice.
They are delighted here in Pontiac. They started the game by booing Eric Hipple. Now they're cheering everybody, and the Lions lead it by that 9-point margin as Carl Monroe in the end zone running out the kick. And he's stopped inside the 15 and a penalty marker down. Roosevelt Barnes on the stop. The attendance here today at the Silverdome, 67,715, 4,800 no-shows, so 67,000 strong. And the legal block against the 49ers will put him in more of a jam.
These are the things that have haunted that man all year long.
Illegal block on the kick return team, number 30. 1st down and 10.
It's on Bill Ring, number 30.
Ring in behind, a little bit of a brush. Kind of a ticky-tack call, but nevertheless, there was contact.
Worst field position, the 5-yard line for the 49ers. Pass out to Roger Craig by Montana, fighting his way toward 1st down territory, and maybe close to it. Craig coming out of the backfield. Bobby Watkins making the stop out of bounds. And it is a 1st down for the 49ers, who trail 23-14 with 42 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. This is the story on the offense, and who could have anticipated that? With all the problems the Lions have been having, and the 49ers with that reputation. 1st and 10 at the 16. Montana loops it high. Russ Francis has it, and he's ridden out of bounds by Bruce McNorton. Gain of about 5 yards on that play.
Francis, far right of your screen. Just gets a slant out release right away, has a step. And Montana loops it over the linebacker, and that was a good catch.
Last week, the 49ers did not score an offensive touchdown. Today, they only have 1. 2nd and 7 at the 19. They give it to Craig. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 as Craig is stopped by James Harrell. And the clock continues to run. Eddie Murray with 3 field goals. 24, 41, and 45 yards. After the Lions had tied it up 14 apiece.
And no matter the fact the 49ers are 3-3, Dick, they're still everybody's big game because they're defending Super Bowl champions.
And they have borne the brunt of that fact. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score 23-14, the Lions. The sideline, he's been suffering a pinched nerve.
Another one of those factors that has been so important in the 49ers success that hasn't been seen this year. His tremendous pressure on the quarterback. Is that one of those things that you won't see again that Bill Walsh was talking about? Only time will tell.
No sacks for Fred Dean, and he's been concerned about it. Of course, Dwayne Bohr told us he seems to be getting better each week. Had that arthroscopic surgery on the knee, and of course, got to get that confidence back too. 3rd down and 3 at the 23 as we start the 4th quarter. Joe Montana runs away from pressure, being chased. 1st down for Montana. And out of bounds. They mark it at the 36-yard line. A gain of 14 for Joe Montana, and he runs the 49ers out of trouble there.
Good coverage downfield by the Lions this time. Montana was a good protection originally. Nothing to go to. Scrambles to the right, and there's still nothing there. So he has to run. And he outruns big Eric Williams, number 76, to the sideline. Even after he got out of containment, there was still no one to throw to for him.
His longest gain was 16 yards. That was 14. 16 earlier in the year. First and 10 for the 49ers on their own 36. Start of the fourth quarter. Tyler breaks a couple and gets into Lion territory like a jet.
Like a jet is right. That's his attribute. A lot of people say a running back and get past the defensive linemen before they can come off their blocks. Tyler gets by the linebackers before they can come off their blocks. Look at that start. 92 was Angelo King, was just coming off the block. He could only get an arm on him before Tyler was by.
William Graham and Demetrius Johnson on the tackle. That's what Tyler has done today. That was a 15-yard gain. And another first down for the 49ers, who need 2 scores to take the lead. Craig and Monroe in the backfield, and they give it to Roger Craig. Craig with another first down for the 49ers. And it looks like the running backs are playing in a fevered pitch right now. Tyler on one play, Craig on the other. William Gay and William Graham make the tackle. And Craig with a first down for the 49ers has 69 yards on the day.
Roger Craig's code word this year, they count on me now, and it makes me work harder and play harder.
First and 10 at the Lion 39. Craig for 10. Tyler for 15 before that, and Montana for 14 on the previous play. Montana swings it out to Craig. And Craig gets a good 7 yards to the 32-yard line, where Eric Williams and James Harrell make the play.
Wes Francis came in motion and kind of cleared things out for Craig over there. Montana doesn't spend any time looking downfield. Short drop, and then pops it right out there, and very seldom does the first man bring him down, and they didn't that time.
Kind of an important drive and series for the Niners.
Critical would be the word, I think.
Second down and 3. Montana play action. And he finds his man Mike Wilson complete, and a first down inside the 25-yard line. William Graham on the tackle. So for Mike Wilson, that is only his 3rd reception of the year.
They tried to get it deep to Jerry Rice, but look at the coverage on him. Montana looked at him twice during the course of this play. Still couldn't feel there was a way to get it to him, and for good reason. And then Mike Wilson made an adjustment, and Montana got it to him.
First and 10 at the 24. This is the 49ers' second crisp drive of the game. Tyler on an inside handoff. Tyler to the 10-yard line, and yet another first down. That mark it at the 11. Demetrius Johnson making the tackle. 13-yard gain for Tyler, and he's close to 100.
They Quill in the center, and Randy Cross, Keith Fonhorst, that offensive line. McIntyre 62 with a short trap block on that one. Good job up front now by the Lions. Or by the 49ers. For the Lions, the ball's in the worst spot. They would like to have the ball on the 10-yard line.
First and 10 at the 11. Craig inside. Touchdown. The 9th touchdown of the season for Roger Craig. He leads the National Football League.
Right side again. Keith Fonhorst over there with a big block. And I don't think Craig was touched until right there, until about a yard before the end zone. That's what a good job the offensive line did.
5 touchdowns on the year rushing for Craig, 4 as a receiver. And now with Kavanaugh holding, Ray Wershing makes good, and it's now 23-21. Right now we pause for a... And the handoff to Alvin Moore, and Moore finds a hole and is shy of a first down, but not by much as he brings it out to the 29. Carlton Williamson makes the play.
This is a guy, Moore, number 24, that Darryl Rogers really wanted to get. He coached him in college, as you said, Dick. He played behind Gerald Riggs and And Weathers, the kid that's up in New England now and can play both spots, both halfback and fullback. Good receiver. That's why Rogers wanted him.
David Lewis, the tight end, limping off the field. Reese McCall replaces him, number 81. Second down and 1, and here's Moore again. Moore may have the first down as he crosses the 30-yard line. Didn't make it by much if he did.
Kuykendall had a good hit and a good play.
And it is a first down for the Lions.
It's going to take him a while to get his timing back. He hasn't played, we mentioned, since training camp. Came on the squad just this year, number 59, or just this week, as they put Jim Stuckey on waivers, but showed you some ability there. He can really take on and play the run tough.
He got hurt 4 days into camp, and he's got a lot of support from his ex-UCLA teammates like Wendell Tyler and the man he recruited, Randy Cross. That's right. Here's Moore trying to cut inside. So now they're using Jones as a blocker out of the I formation, and Alvin Moore is the ball carrier. You know, Wilbert Montgomery's shaken up earlier. Ricky Ellison and Kuykendall again make the tackle. So they're giving, what, Jones a breather right now?
Well, I don't know. This is just an unforgiving football game down there right now. These guys are really hitting each other.
Second down and 7 from the 34.
Lions and the 49ers with a history of great games. This is the 50th meeting. You got to go way back to 1957 when the Lions and the Niners played a big playoff game for the Western Conference title. Time remaining in the game. 2nd and 7 at the 34-yard line. Here's James Jones carrying, and Jones brings it out to the 35. Ellison again on the stop. It'll be 3rd and long. That year, the 49ers took a 27-7 lead into the second half, and Tobin Rote led the Lions back to victory, 31-27.
Right. I'd just been drafted by the Lions, and I was sitting in the stands watching that game. I was there for the Shrine game. It was 24-7 at halftime. Then Hugh McElhaney ran the second half kickoff back to about the 20. The Niners kicked a field goal to go ahead 27-7. It looked like it was locked up, but the Lions came back and won it 31-27.
So these two teams have been going at it. Fred Dean and Gary Big Hands Johnson in the lineup defensively. 3rd and 6 at the 35. Ferguson getting away. Dwayne Board chases him, and the pass is caught by Nichols at the 40-yard line. But he's shy of a first down by a yard. Keena Turner and Dwight Hicks make the play, but it'll be 4th down for the Lions.
Still a great job by Joe Ferguson back there. Oh, he moved around, rolled out, got rid of the ball under big pressure.
But I think the last thing the Lions wanted to do now is to give the ball up so quickly with 8.5 minutes remaining. That could have been a key first down for them. Dana McLemore back, and Mike Black will punt.
If you're a special team member now for the 49ers, you just say don't be offsides, and the Lions might do something here to try to pull them off.
With a beauty. Fair catch called for by McLemore at the 9-yard line. Black did his job. 50 yards, no return. Led 14-7 after 1 quarter. The Lions had a 20-14 lead at the half, and after 3 it was 23-14 on the strength of 3 straight Ed Murray field goals. But the 49ers came back as Roger Craig scored his 9th touchdown of the year, and the Niners trailed by 2 points. And once again, a close battle between these teams. 1st and 10 for San Francisco on their 11th. Montana up the middle. Craig down at the 15, gain of 5 on the play. Angelo King making the tackle. Comes in on nickel plays. Matt Cavanaugh, who very nearly had to be thrust into this ball game with Montana suffering from the flu. The clock in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 5 now. Clark and Rice are the receivers. Rice to the top. Here's Tyler. First down, Wendell Tyler. He's gone over the 100 mark. Bobby Watkins on the stop.
What's the 2 guards pull? Randy Cross and Guy McIntyre. Cross is 51, McIntyre 62. They get in a hole, and there's really no one showing up to block it. McIntyre has to go 4 or 5 yards downfield before the linebacker Allerman shows up. So they're doing a good job at the line of scrimmage.
Tyler goes out of the game. He has gained 105 yards. As the Niners go with one back, Roger Craig, 1st and 10 on the 23. Montana looks right, throws right, and he has Francis, and Demetrius Johnson holds him up right there. To the 29-yard line, a gain of 6 on that play.
The thing the 49ers have been doing here recently in the passing game at least has been off the 3-step drop by Montana, which means naturally it's going to be a short pattern. Flag down on the field right now. That's the holdup. Montana taking a look.
A personal foul against the Lions, and it happened on the play when Russ Francis caught it. Or let's see where it was. Was it Montana?
William Gay, number 79, coming in late.
And there's really no reason for that one.
None whatsoever, and those are the things that lose you football games.
So it'll be a 1st down automatic for the 49ers and push the ball up to their own 44-yard line. 6:42 to go. Earl Cooper in motion. Montana up the middle, tipped. It was tipped by a lineman, and they had Earl Cooper wide open.
Jimmy Williams in on the blitz. Montana read it and unloaded quickly, but someone got a hand on it.
2nd down and 10 with 6:37 to go. 49ers need a field goal to take the lead. They bring in their nickel package, including Angelo King, the linebacker. And Michael Kofer, who becomes a 4th down lineman as a defensive end. 2nd down 10. Pitch to Tyler. Upended is Tyler at the 45 by Arnold Brown, a rookie free agent from North Carolina Central.
Number 23, Arnold Brown. Comes in on the penetration, gets some help from Williams. There's the hit. He was down on the ground and got his shoulders and helmet up just in time to flip Tyler.
2 free agent rookies are the nickel backs for this club, Arnold Brown and John Bostic from Bethune-Cookman. It's 3rd down. And about 8. Quick toss, flag down. And a call no play. Let's see if the clock had run out. No, illegal procedure against the 49ers. That would have been a 1st down, but it was an illegal situation there.
False start. Number 77 of the offense.
Bubba Paris, who played his college ball at the University of Michigan nearby.
He's a left tackle, far left of your screen, number 77. Starts to set back in his pass blocking situation about a half a count early. Did the same thing last week in the game we saw against the Bears against Richard Dent.
So instead of a 1st down for the 49ers in Lion territory, it's 3rd and 13 at the 41, and this is a big play. Play action. Montana steps up, fires, incomplete. Jerry Rice was the intended receiver, and listen to the crowd. A costly penalty for the 49ers, Wayne.
He was wide open here. Montana stepped up, saw him, and threw a poor ball.
But the penalty is what really hurt. And now Max Runniger has to kick it away with 5:31 to go. Manley at the 21. And gets to the 29, and that's all. Tackle made by Jeff Fuller, and a penalty marker is down. A 38-yard punt by Max Runniger, penalty down. And an ineligible receiver downfield, and they're going to make Runniger kick it again. Wayne, the 49ers continue to make the mistakes that mediocre teams make.
Well, they do, and they pass the baton around. It's one person after another.
Ineligible member of the kicking team, number 86, is downfield. The penalty will be refused.
John Frank.
Detroit's
The
ball.
Lions refuse it. They'll take the ball at the 30-yard line with 5:22 to go. At Pontiac, the Lions will have the ball at the 30-yard line with 5:22 to go. And they hope to eat up some time and get at least a field goal that would put them up by 5 and force the Niners to win it with a touchdown if they could. The Giants beat Washington 17-3. Big comeback win for New York. 1st and 10 at the 30. And Jones gets a couple of yards straight ahead. Tackled by Ronnie Lott. So the Redskins drop to 3-4. The Giants are 4-3. Atlanta leading New Orleans 21-10, looking for their first win. New Orleans could drop to 3-4. Buffalo looking for win number 1. Hank Bullock would be getting his first NFL victory as a head coach.
The Lions have had double tight end in there with one running back. Now the 49ers got to be thinking, look out for play pass.
2nd and 7 at the 33. Ferguson, quick toss, caught. Leonard Thompson, first down. Beyond the 40-yard line. Good for 11 yards, and Ricky Ellison on the tackle.
Yes, it wasn't a play pass, wasn't play action pass, but short drop here by Ferguson. Waits till the last minute. Look, till he looks over to the left. Veteran quarterback, knows where Thompson's going to be, and gets it to him. Didn't have a stare down with him, but did exactly what you're supposed to do.
Eric Hipple started the game, played the first half, and had the Lions in front 20-14, and it's been Joe Ferguson to try to protect the lead like a relief pitcher now. 4 minutes to go, 1st and 10. Jones with the extra reach brings it out to the 45-yard line where Ronnie Lott and Milt McCall make the tackle, and the clock runs under 4 minutes to play now.
Jones is a dangerous runner in this kind of game because on defense you're really hustling now because you're behind. You're trying to pursue as hard as you can, and if you over pursue, like we talked about, he can see so well that he'll cut back and get extra yardage. Now they over pursued a little bit that time, and it cost him about 1.5 yards. And right now that's important feet, important yards.
The Eagles upset Dallas 16-14, so the Eagles have upset the Cardinals and the Cowboys on successive weeks. 2nd down and 6 at the 45. Lions looking for an upset of their own. Jones for a couple of yards. Tackled by Ellison and Kuykendall. So James Jones now with 112 yards on 27 carries in this game. And now 3 minutes remain in the ball game, and the Lions clinging to a 23-21 lead. They broke a 14-all tie on 3 field goals by Eddie Murray. There is Norb Hecker signaling in the defense from George Seifert, the defensive coordinator upstairs. Each team with a full complement of timeouts remaining. 3rd and 3. Big play here. Jones. It's close, very close. The crowd thinks he does, but let's wait. He's into 49er territory at the 49, and we may need a measurement. We will get that. Ronnie Lott and Dwayne Board make the tackle, and Lott slow getting up.
Well, big effort here by Jones as he turns it up off the flip. Keena Turner out there 58. Now he overruns a little. That's the pursuit we're talking about. So did Ronnie Lott a little bit. Both of them just a little bit too much on the pursuit angle. And Jones cut it back with a tough run.
2:23 remaining. And it looks like they've got it. First and 10 Lions at the San Francisco 49ers.
I think ideally when you're playing against a guy like Jones who can cut back so well, or any of the great runners, you got to stay about 1 yard behind him, because then you'll meet him then right at the line of scrimmage. You'll meet him correctly, and you're 1 yard behind him. If they cut back, they'll cut back right into you.
The 49ers will have to start using timeouts to stop the clock defensively, and they're going to wait and let the 2-minute clock run down. The clock run down to 2 minutes. You'll hear the cheers. 2-minute warning. Lions with the lead and the ball, and most things on their side right now. quarter here at Pontiac, Michigan, where the 49ers trail the Lions 23-21, and the Lions have 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And of course, you know, Bill Walsh will have to start thinking timeout before long, Wayne.
If they can get them stopped here. That's the important thing. They got to think about getting them stopped before they can think about using their timeouts.
But you know the Lions will try to keep the ball on the ground, and the 49ers will have to start calling those timeouts. The Rams stay unbeaten at 7-0. They beat Kansas City 16-0. They play the 49ers next week, and unless the Niners can rally, they'll have a 4-game lead over the 49ers. And the Saints, who are 3-3, are losing to Atlanta. Think the Rams ever expected that at this stage of the race? I doubt it. But they've been playing very well, and their defense has been the key.
If they did, they were the only ones.
1st and 10 at the 48. James Jones, 112 yards, has been the workhorse. He gets the call. Penalty marker down. Dwayne Board and Ricky Ellison. He may have a hold call against the Lions. Let's see. Somebody might have moved. It's against Detroit, apparently. Maybe Rob Rubik. In any event, it'll be 1st and 15 after they mark this off.
Illegal motion, number 84, on the offense, and the penalty will be refused. 2nd down.
They refuse it.
Then that's a good call, because it would have been 1st down again for the Lions. It just gives them another down, and time is more important now than a down is to the 49ers.
Rob Rubik moved. 49ers need the ball back. 35-year-old Joe Ferguson. 2nd down and 8 at the 47. In motion is Rubik, and the pitch to Jones, and he just fell down for no gain. Actually, a loss of 2 yards on the play. Ellison and Walter make the tackle, and with 1:50 to go, the clock stops. Timeout, 49ers. Timeouts remaining. A penalty on 1st down against the Lions stopped the clock, which saved a 49er timeout. They called it on the last play, and that's the timeout story with 1:50 remaining. Darryl Rogers trying to get a big victory. He's already knocked off Dallas. He's got Miami at home next week. Lions at 2-0 at home, trying to make it 3-0. 3rd down and 8.
Passing formation, too, Dick.
That's right, at the 48 with the split backs. Ferguson up on top for Leonard Thompson, and it's knocked away, and I think Thompson must have knocked it away from Hicks the way it looked from here.
Fine defensive play by Hicks.
Not a bad call, though.
No, it's not. You got to force the issue. You just can't try to sit on it there, run it into the line again. That'll help the 49ers. You got to take a chance. They did, and Hicks just made a good defensive play.
So Mike Black back to kick, and McLemore standing at the 10. So the 49ers will get the ball again, barring a mistake, with 2 timeouts remaining. 1:44 showing on the clock.
Go Alvin! Go Alvin!
High kick. McLemore, fair catch inside the 15 at the 12-yard line with a 36-yard punt. And Matt Cavanaugh is going into the ball game. Matt Cavanaugh is the new quarterback for the 49ers, and he's coming in under the most pressurized situations with 1:37 to go.
It's a tremendous surprise, because Montana has done it for him in this situation so many times before. You wonder if it's the flu. You wonder if Bill Walsh just wants to get the ball downfield more, which Cavanaugh perhaps does better. We'll find out later, I guess. Don't know now.
Here's the noise. Cavanaugh from the 13 finds Solomon, trying to find out of bounds, and he can't do it. Alvin Hall makes the tackle. And the ball is at the 15-yard line. Tough spot for Matt Cavanaugh, but I guess Montana couldn't even do this drive. He must really be hurting. Cavanaugh back and down. Doug English, and the first sack of the game for the Lions, and for for them, it couldn't come at a better time. And the 49ers have called a timeout, and they have one left. What else could go wrong for Bill Walsh and his defending champion 49ers, Wayne?
Doug English is the man who got the sack and created this reaction from the head man of the 49ers.
One timeout remaining for the 49ers. It'll be 3rd down and 12 back at the 11-yard line. There's Joe Montana with the jacket on behind the bench, walking away for the moment. As Cavanaugh, the man of the hour, and we've talked about how capable he is as a backup, but this is a real tough spot. And one thing we didn't figure, Wayne, that we would be seeing the two backup quarterbacks, Cavanaugh and Ferguson, at the final moments of this game. Montana 15 for 26 today for 97 yards and an interception. And a big one by Demetrius Johnson.
I think they tried to protect him a lot because they knew he wasn't feeling well. They ran the ball a lot. They had just, short passes, short 3-step drops. A second big play by the rookie Arnold Brown, who was drafted by Seattle, waived by them, picked up by the Lions, and has performed extremely well here in the late stages.
A close game throughout as these teams have played in recent years. And you remember the field goal failure by Eddie Murray in the playoff. And now it is 4th and 12, and you will hear a roar if the 49ers don't make it. 4 wide receivers for Matt Cavanaugh. Coach's faces tell it all. The Lions, with a minute to go, have it in their hands.
Matt Cavanaugh didn't have a chance on that play anyway. William Gay got around Bubba Parrish right from the start, and Cavanaugh had to rush his throw.
Darryl Rogers, first year as a head coach, sees his team about ready to upset the defending champions if they can avoid the mistakes. 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 11. Eddie Murray has kicked 3 field goals. James Jones over 100 yards rushing. And Joe Ferguson in relief of Eric Hipple in the second half when Hipple had back spasms has commandeered the Lions to a stunning upset over the still beleaguered world champions. Cavanaugh forced in. Joe Montana came out with the flu today. They used him for all but this last series. 49ers still with 1 timeout left, and they're not bothered to call for it. It was 14-all. 3 Eddie Murray field goals gave the Lions a 9-point lead, but a late touchdown by Roger Craig was not enough. And Wayne Walker, the 49ers will go under 500, and the Lions will go 4-3.
The 49ers have been playing like an under 500 team all season, Dick, with mistakes, penalties, and it all surfaced again here today.
It's over. The final score, the Detroit Lions 23, the San Francisco 49ers 21. For Wayne Walker, this is Dick Stockton saying so long. NFL Today postgame is coming right up.
Next, right after our postgame show, America's Marathon, which was run in Chicago today, and you will see our coverage of that at 4:30 Eastern Time here on CBS. Most important thing is to get you to the scoreboard right now and get you up to date. The Los Angeles Rams stay unbeaten, 16-0 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Todd Blackledge on the right stepped in as the quarterback, and the Ram defense simply did the rest against him. Watch here as Gary Green of the Rams comes up with one of 3 first-half interceptions. And you know, John Robinson was not finished with them.
Not at all. You know, the Ram defense has played well all year long. Their secondary has been nothing but ball hawks all season. Here's another ball that goes up and is picked off in the end zone by Leroy Irvin. 6 interceptions today, Brent, they had.
And they also put an enormous amount of pressure on young Blackley. Mike Wilcher nailing him right there at the 6, and the Los Angeles Rams stay unbeaten after 7 weeks of this season. The shocker of the day, and most of you saw it as time ran down to the Silverdome, 23-21, the Detroit Lions beat Bill Walsh and the defending Super Bowl champions. Walsh scrimmaged this team, but I'll tell you, he should have taught him how to tackle on a punt returner.
Brent, I have to believe this play early in the ball game really ignited Detroit. A 63-yard punt return. It's almost a gimme from the special teams.
But we must point out the Niners came back and seized a 14-7 lead. Watch Mike Black. He simply fumbles the snap. Guy McIntyre's got it. 6 for the Niners. But then Darryl Rogers' offensive line went to work. They did a super job. And James Jones enjoyed a great afternoon running. Here he is from 2 yards out, and the Lions were in business, winning it 23-21. Now the Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. Quarterbacking woe for the Raiders. Mark Wilson, 2 key interceptions late in that game. The Browns leading 20-14. Bernie Kosar to Kevin Mack, 7 yards for the go-ahead touchdown. Houston exploding 44-26, about to snap their 5-game losing streak in that game. Atlanta over New Orleans 31-17. They are in the 4th quarter there, and this game did feature the most entertaining play of the afternoon. Dan Wagner will lateral to Rick Bryan. Bryan looking for someone, and Mike Gant says, come on, I'm going to make like a fullback. Here we go. 42 yards. He rumbles on into the end zone, and I want to call in Jimmy the Greek about Dan Henning here and Atlanta winning. Jimmy, what does that do for Dan down there as the coach, and was he under pressure?
You know, if you looked at Atlanta's schedule from the beginning of the year, they had to beat the Rams. They lost to San Francisco twice. They had the toughest schedule in the world. So when they played a team like New Orleans, supposedly that's equal with them, they have to beat him, or he gets fired.
All right, well, he's not going to get fired off for this performance. And the Buffalo Bills are coming on this afternoon, about to break into the W College.